Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with the final series in the quarterfinals, the round of 8. And I say final, just again, a reminder. And before I say the reminder, I'm going to make sure I get this straight. That Boxer is going to be the teal Terran. Is he wearing a blanket? Anyway, on the right side of the map. And this up here at the north side of the map is going to be Blaze, aka Sync. I'm just going to call him Sync. I believe in the starting screen we saw that his name was Blaze, but Ku Blaze. Ku is like the his clan. A lot of these players keep their clan tag even when they go pro. Ku Max, for example. Max, who we saw in the earlier group stage. Max is the same clan as the Ku clan. QOO, by the way, not KU, don't worry. Anyway, but yeah, I was going to give you one more reminder that these games were all played in a different format that I'm casting them. They were played where one day the first game of all 4 quarterfinals was played, and then another day the second and third game of all the quarterfinals was played, so it was kind of like a little bit different. So I'm actually casting these in groups in each quarterfinal, but I'm technically casting them a little bit out of order from the way that they were played. So just FYI. But for me, this is going to be the last of the quarterfinals, and after this, we'll know who our semifinalists will be, and then we're going to be getting on into the finals pretty soon. So that's exciting. I mean, this is going to be an exciting, I think, quarterfinal matchup. I think maybe. I mean, who knows? Who knows what to expect here? I was going to say preemptively and perhaps might end up ironically, oh, I don't think this is going to be as exciting as the other quarterfinals, because we've had some crazy quarterfinals. I mean, actually, all 3 of the quarterfinals so far, all 3 of the quarterfinal matchups have had at least one game that was, like, insane. So it's been such an exciting tournament so far. It's pretty great. Anyway, but I was gonna say, like, oh, you know, maybe we won't see quite as much out of this one, but with Boxer you never know, is part of the thing. So yeah, we could see anything theoretically. Boxer is such a creative player. One of the reasons why I was initially tempted to say, like, oh, it's gonna be not as exciting, is just because I don't know if it's quite gonna be the same caliber. Sync is very good, but in order to describe Boxer, you have to take out one of the O's from good. You know, he is just a StarCraft god. So I believe we're probably going to see him outclass Sync a little bit, even though Sync is one of the stronger Terran players in 2004, you know. But if you're like top 10 in 2004, but you're in the same tournament as the top 3, you know, I would... well, I mean, Boxer, Uv and Nada are probably some of the top few. Zelos, probably also top 5. Boxer, top 5. So, like, you know, if you're like the 7th or 8th best Terran, but the other Terrans that you're going up against are like some of the best of all time, then it's hard to make that comparison. So, that being said, you know, who knows? Maybe I will be surprised here, and maybe Sync will actually pull something off here against Boxer. And potentially advance to the semifinals. So we'll have to find out. Anyway, we do have 2 factories going down here for Sync. Up in the top left here, he's the green. Of course, we got green versus teal. Ugh. And then over here in the teal, we have Boxer getting his second factory as well. He's a little behind on the machine shop. I didn't catch exactly why that was. Maybe because he delayed a little bit of, used a little gas to get an armory earlier. He's getting a second machine shop, though. Very interesting. Usually, you see 2 machine shops in mass vulture play, and, oh, Boxer's going to get a scouting vulture in here, actually. He's not attacking. He's just running by to try and see what's going on. He sees both of the enemy factories. He sees the vulture count. He sees whatever building that is, which we haven't clicked on it yet. It's a supply depot, so, you know, he doesn't spawn an armory or anything like that. So, kind of interesting here. And he also doesn't spot a starport. And that's pretty crucial. I mean, that might have been part of why he got the armory, because he was worried about early rates or something like that. Hard to say. We'll see if it starts spinning up with some upgrades, perhaps. But expecting Boxer to go mass vultures here. Sync actually already has his mines out, and now he's building a second machine shop here. Boxer, I don't think, has mines out yet. He's building a depot in that gap. Again, as we've seen before on this map, especially in TVT. Sort of in TVP, perhaps. You can use that gap, and here we go. The mine's being laid down. Sync trying to force the issue on this choke point here. He's taking out that SCV, but that might even be fine for Boxer, because he might even want to be able to cancel that depot later. But in the meantime, the depot's in a spot where he may just complete it for the supply, of course, but the depot's in a spot where it blocks the barracks from landing in the gap, I believe. And so you can't just like cut off reinforcements. And Boxer now, with his own starport and a control tower attached to it as well, really curious to see what we see popping out of Boxer's buildings, by the way, because I thought when he was going for 2 machine shops that he was going to get mines and speed for vultures and go mass vultures, but instead we see not that. We see, in fact, like, I'm not even sure exactly what the second machine shop was for. Karen boosters, I guess, for the range upgrade for Goliath or something like that. And he's actually, this barracks is floating, and see, this is what he did. This is what I was talking about. Boxer did it to Sync. Now, can Boxer actually capitalize on this, though, by actually making use of the fact that there's, 20 seconds where Sync's tanks are stuck behind? Looks like no, he's not going to. Oh, hold that thought. We got a little bit of tank versus tank battle going on over here. And Sync's tank winning the first volley and then backing off. Boxer targeting the vulture down instead of the other tank. So he does get an extra shot off, but in the end it's a trade for 1-for-1. But what is Boxer going to do with this dropship that's going to pop out here? And there's the dropship. Whoa. Is he actually... He's not even using it for like a drop in the main. He's just using it for Goliath bombing. He needs to be careful about those mines, though. Okay. Those Goliaths, don't know how close they were to dying just there. Then again, they did have the Boxer dropship micro to protect them theoretically. So Sync has been forced back. Sync was trying to go for a little bit of a contain with some mines and a siege tank, and he was going to rally out forces forward. But it looks like that's not happening. Now, is this a second dropship for Boxer that we're seeing? Or is this... Yeah, this is a second dropship. He's actually going to... Whoa, he's loading up 2 tanks and 3 Goliaths. I don't think I saw a 4th one. He's moving them out onto the map. He's got a couple tanks out in this open ground as well. I don't see any mines yet for Boxer at all, actually, which is interesting. So he doesn't have vultures or anything that can run out in front of those tanks and spot for them and see if any attack is coming. At this point, though, he may even welcome an attack, because an attack would mean that there's nothing in Sync's base. And here comes Boxer coming in with this drop. He's going to drop a couple tanks out. All of those units being dropped out. He's going to very quickly target down one of Sync's tanks. Sync is going to siege up in the background, though, and Boxer just picks up. And the Goliath is attacking the dropship, so he can't lose a dropship full of units. Okay, it's only at half health. No major risk there. Sync is getting his expansion up in this time, though. Is Boxer's gotten his command center going, but it's not in the expansion spot. So, and this is kind of interesting. We're seeing Boxer build a barracks. His barracks died when it was blocking the gap and just being a scouting building over in Sync's base. And but he lost the barracks, and so now in order to build more factories, he needs to rebuild those barracks. So that's what we're seeing right now. He's going to be floating that new command center down into location for the expansion. So they're both going to be a little bit on the same page there. Boxer now with, is that 3 dropships? No, it's just still 2. Just kind of rearranging which units were in it, in each dropship. So Sync's going to have his expansion up a little bit quicker because he built it at the expansion location. And is Boxer going to try and drop on that? The Goliath's taking pot shots. Ooh, he needs to be a little bit careful. Both dropships at half health, or just that one, I guess. Oh, that's actually all 4 tanks. He's going to be able to siege up on the mineral line. So for just a moment, Sync had an economic advantage as he was mining at that expansion, and Boxer was not. But now Boxer is has taken over. And actually, Boxer taking the middle base with the gas rather than the inside natural without the gas. So this is really interesting. It's a little bit more vulnerable of a position, but it, you know, will reap pretty good rewards. And actually, Sync is like, all right, well, two can play that game. I'm going to float my command center out to the middle as well, since so you can't siege up on the area above this gap. And Boxer has been backed into a corner. It looks like he's going to lose 3 of these tanks. Is he going to get enough damage to return? To do in return, he's going to take out 1 Goliath in exchange for 3 tanks. That is not good, actually. Boxer being put a little bit behind. Now Boxer has to play defense. He's in a vulnerable position with his expansion in the middle, and he can't really do much about Sync planning his expansion in the middle. So Boxer is, I feel like, a little bit behind in this game right now. He's had less mining time. He's now lost more units. I guess they did take out 1 tank for free earlier when he did that drop, but he's got these drop ships, which drop ships are tactically good, but they're not militarily good, if that makes sense. They don't actually do anything in the battle. They don't attack. So that's, you know, 4 supply worth of units that Boxer has that are not going to be fighting, and he also lost 3 tanks, right? So in essence, if you think about it just in terms of pure production ability, you know, I guess maybe Sync lost a vulture or 2 here and there, but I think, you know, Boxer's maybe down 5 or 10 supply just in terms of his army size. So that's something to think about. Now, of course, Boxer is not one to care about army size. He's a tactical player, right? So having these dropships and having the ability to use them as in a tactical advantage is going to be really useful for especially a player like Boxer. And Sync running some vultures around the back, by the way. They may be able to run right into the main because Boxer's entirely focused on the north front of this middle expansion, and these vultures are coming all the way around the bottom. I can't speak today. I apologize. Kind of running my words into each other a little bit here today. But he's not focused on that southern area, and those vultures could easily sneak in. In fact, Boxer pushing into the north a little bit further while those vultures come in from the south. They're going to get some free SCV kills. Boxer trying to siege over the high ground, over the gap rather, onto where these tanks are, and that dropship going in for vision is just going to die for it. A little bit unfortunate there that dropship just kind of was in the wrong. I mean, I guess maybe he's freeing up supply, right? That dropship wasn't helping his army, but again, you know, imagine if that dropship had instead been dropping vultures down or something like that over in the other side there. But you know, vision is also part of the game. You know, you need the tanks can fire farther than they can see, so you need to have something out there. Oh, we didn't see what happened. Okay, looks like that tank took out the mine. Otherwise, it could have killed some SCVs there. But yeah, Sync has reinforced this middle base, so it looks like he's fine. He's actually building another base on the left side of the map. I think, is it Sync or is Boxer building a hidden base over there? It's hard to tell, actually. Teal versus green is tough colors. At some point, they invented a way to change the colors, didn't they? I don't know when that happened, but it's too bad that it's not in 2004. Sync is going in for a big attack here, trying to push out with unsieged tanks against a few of Boxer's siege tanks. Boxer does siege up a little bit behind, but Sync has taken the advantageous position, and oh, just a huge volley blowing up a bunch of stuff there, but his own tanks do kill off some of their own as these SCVs run in a little bit too close, and the splash damage does more damage to his tanks than he needs to. So Boxer is going to push back and take over this position. That was actually a really good move there by Sync. No one saw it coming, Boxer nor I, and Boxer was caught a little bit off guard, lost some units there, but Sync didn't have the support units. If he had, like, you know, 4 Goliaths or a few vultures or something like that backing up those tanks, then they would have killed off those SCVs before the splash damage happened, and Sync would then be in a commanding position, overwatching with siege tanks on Boxer's second base. Which Boxer now is taking his third base in his natural, so however you want to think of that, I guess. I guess you'd still call it his third base since it's the third one he's putting up. So, in any case, yeah, so I don't know exactly who's in command of this game at this point. Both players have taken damage, both players have dealt damage. It's hard to really say. You know, Sync did do a fair amount of damage to the SCV count of Boxer with a couple of his attacks, and at the same time, though, Sync has has lost some SCVs of his own to the shelling over these large gaps. And here comes Sync coming in the back, and Boxer actually dropping his units off in that spot. They just happen to be there in the right spot and are able to take out those vultures. So the vultures can't sneak in and kill more SCVs. Otherwise, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. He could have snuck into the main. There would have been a pretty easy attack there to go into Boxer's main and see what's going on there. But in any case, both players mining out their mains at this point. Actually, it looks like Boxer transferred SCVs to his natural, maybe a little bit more so. And so Boxer still has all of his patches, although they're very low. There's very low mineral counts in each of those patches in his main. So Boxer, for like maybe a minute, is going to have a little bit better mining than Sync right now, as they've both taken their mineral-owning naturals as well throughout the course of this. But they're basically on even footing as far as economics go, is what I can kind of tell. Again, we can't see the SCV count or anything fancy like that. But in any case, Boxer floating around with these dropships. Sync has continued to put money into vultures and putting mines around the map, which is, Boxer is instead hasn't made, I don't think, a single vulture since the beginning of the game when he used one to scout with. And instead he's been making dropships. So Boxer with one kind of mobility and Sync with a different kind of mobility, actually, in a way. So, and Boxer looks like Boxer is trying to kind of slowly push forward here, push into this middle area. Sync is trying to take control of that top rightish little triangle expansion, I guess. Boxer's not going to have anything of it, though. It looks like he's got his dropships in play to take care of that base before it could even come in. And actually now he's dropping in a great spot where he can siege the natural expansion and kill off that side expansion. A little bit of tank fire being exchanged between these two sides. Now Boxer needs to be a little bit careful, though, because if he loses those forces, that is a huge force to lose if he gets it caught. Now he has taken out some of Sync's forces with this attack, so it's already been pretty effective. And whose dropships are those? Are those Boxer's dropships? Okay, they must be Boxer's dropships. For some reason, for a second, I thought Sync was dropping on top of Boxer or something like that, who is now transferring all of his SCVs from his main, so that means his main must be completely mined out at this point. But Sync, of course, does not have any dropships. Does he even have a starport? Okay, we're just seeing him build a starport now, actually, in answer to our question. And actually, there was another building there, too. Was that a second starport, or was that another depot? I didn't get a good look at it. Probably another depot, otherwise I believe the observer would have pointed out more. Anyway, Boxer pushing out into the middle of the map right now, trying to take control of the center. If he does take control of this center, it's going to be a huge deal, actually, and Sync is too spread out. Boxer's forces are all focused on the middle, whereas Sync has forces all over the place and less forces in general. Sync now is coming in here. No, Sync really is just not able to defend this at all. Where are Sync's forces? Does Sync have an army? What is going on here? Is Boxer just about to win this game right now just with this push? I don't know what happened to Sync's army. Like, where did they go? Has Boxer just been slowly whittling them down and Sync has just not been macroing very well? I don't know where Sync's army is right now, but and I'm not sure why he's unsieging right there also, actually. He needs to stay sieged up. Boxer is now taking control of this. Okay, I guess he's going to try and retake control of his position where he can land his natural. Scan goes down so he can get vision, and he's just mass SCV repairing as well, but doesn't matter. The tank fire of Boxer is too strong. Sync has lost control of his second base. He got his fourth base destroyed. His third base, which was his natural, lost a bunch of stuff as well, or maybe it was his second base because he then floated it over. It's hard to say. But Boxer is just taking complete control of this game, just kind of out of nowhere. And maybe this is why. There was a second starport. Okay, I thought I saw a second starport. And so Sync is trying to... But I'm not sure why he would do that when Boxer has so many Goliaths already. Like, what are you going to accomplish with making air units at this point? And why does he keep moving farther into Boxer's fire? What is he doing? He went in and kind of re-secured his position with his reinforcements and is like, you know what? I'm going to unsiege my units and run into Boxer's line of fire. That seems like a good idea. And then when that didn't work, he said, I'm going to do it again. Actually, and somehow, okay, Boxer, did he pick up his units in his dropships? The middle has been kind of abandoned by Boxer. And, but there's the GG anyway. Sync just with no army, with very little economy, realizing, you know what, the longer I prolong this game, it's not going to do me any good. And so Boxer takes game number 1 of the quarterfinal series, and we'll just go ahead and pause on him with his blanket. It does look like he has a blanket on, right? That's not a jacket, I don't think. I think he's got a blanket on over his SKT uniform. Anyway, so, and it looked like was this being played in an outdoor? I thought we got a shot of the area. It looks like this quarterfinal is being played outdoors, in some sort of outdoor arena, and this was played in, I believe, October of 2004, either late September or early October of 2004. So it might be pretty chilly. So can't blame Boxer too much for wearing a blanket, you know. Look at this. This is just the quarterfinal. There's tons of people here. There's going to be a huge, and it might be partly because it's Boxer, but there's going to be a huge crowd for the semifinals and the finals. It's going to be crazy. So, but in any case, Boxer takes game number 1 of the quarterfinal versus Sync. And yeah, you know, Sync's going to have to play a little bit better than that if he's going to get out of this quarterfinal into the semifinals. But we'll see how it goes in game number 2. Thanks very much for watching. GG.